Okay, we're back with Iron Flame, second book in the Empyrean series. I realized when we did Fourth Wing that we didn't rate it at the end.
Okay. So, so what would you rate it?
I think 5 stars.
5 stars. Okay.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I liked it. I
Okay.
mean, I'm a very generous rater,
Yeah.
so that's I do enjoy rating, but then again, I don't because if I like it, I'll give it a 4. If I love it, I'll give it a 5. If I usually just try not to rate it, and then when I absolutely hate it, 0.
Well, I also find that with rating, like when you devote so much time to something, it's hard to give it a bad rating because you just put so much time into something. And it's like
Mine more is just like for the authors. Like
that's
I
true
never
too.
want to just be like, yeah, this book sucked, even if I feel like it did. Like, and they're like, oh, no book sucks. It's just it wasn't for you. But like, I even if it wasn't for me, like, I just I don't like to be the one to rate anything badly. But one time, like, I was reading a book and the main character died like for completely unexpectedly. Was not prepared for it. It wasn't like it was a. I don't know. I just felt like it was one of like those like it was unnecessary. Like, and the author, yeah, she probably felt it was necessary. I don't know, but that it got a 0. It got a 0 from me.
But I think going into a sequel off of a 5 star feeling from the first book, high hopes. No,
I think I'm used to this by now
that the
because
second one's not as
because
good.
yeah, because this happens a lot, and especially I'm also very big into no more than a trilogy.
Yeah,
Because one and I thought
this
that
was a.
this was a
I thought this was a
trilogy.
trilogy too. I could swear I heard that this was a trilogy, but it's 5.
Once you I feel like go past a trilogy, it's not necessary. And even though sometimes I'll read the trilogy and I'll be like, "Oh my god, I want more." And but you should be left wanting more, not being like, "Oh Jesus,
Another book.
let me skim."
Yeah. Um. So, do you think Fourth Wing was better?
Then Iron Flame 100%.
Yeah.
No, not even close.
I've heard a lot online that people said that this book could have, because it suffered with being rushed out, that it should have been like edited down more. Um,
Now, I will say like it's a little hard for me I feel like to comment on that because so I listened basically to the whole thing on audiobook.
mm-hmm.
This one I read a little bit like when I couldn't listen to the audiobook. Actually, I read a little bit when I wanted to speed it up. Not even I couldn't listen to the audiobook. I just wanted to hurry up and get through some parts of it. And it's quicker to read it than to listen to it. Um, so I don't know. I didn't as for like if like what are they saying needs to be edited?
I don't think I've seen anybody specifically say that this part needed to be edited. It's more just like that it could have used a second round of edits. But I don't know because also like I don't know what I would cut out of it because I feel like if you cut, I mean, it did seem a little chaotic. I'll give it that. Like there's so much happening in this book, I feel like.
There is, yeah, that I'll say. I mean, no, there is so much happening, but there's not. Mostly what's happening is Violet getting hurt and getting beat up. And I was kind of over it.
But honestly, that whole um should we just dive into the torture? I guess it doesn't matter. But like I feel like that whole section where she's being tortured, like did that need to be there? Like you got people who could touch her and read her memories and people that could tell that who's lying. Like why did that need to be there so excessively
in
where
my
she's tortured
opinion,
for 5 days?
in my opinion, and this is just my humble opinion, I think it has to do with like the trope of like who did this, who hurt you, who like every time Violet's getting hurt, I'm like, okay, where's Zayden? Zayden's gonna come in and save the day. Like I felt like she was always getting hurt to just be that type of character almost. Like she's a very strong character, you know, she's got the biggest baddest dragon, you know, she can wield lightning, all this stuff, but she is also got that like I don't think that's called a trope. What is that? That like that main female character, what do they say? She's not a damsel because she can handle herself, but the fact that she's always, you know, breaking a bone, doing this, doing that, I'm just like, all right, Violet, enough. Like I don't know. I was tired of hearing about her getting hurt. Like I was just like, oh, here we go. She'll be fine because she's dealt with this much, she's been through much worse. She'll be fine.
Sorry, I thought I just deleted all my notes. That scared the shit out of me. Okay. Anyways, so we do see at the beginning. I mean, I guess like the beginning of the book, she's still in what? How do you say it? Adriata? Is that how you say it?
I couldn't tell you right now because
Tirandor? No, she's in
I
Adriata.
can't tell. Like, you said it like that, and now whatever.
That sounds correct.
No, it doesn't. It sounds absolutely wrong. But whatever the correct way was to say it is gone out of my mind now.
Okay, well,
because I also think there's an S in there or something like that. I don't know. And Arendelle is like, isn't that like Princess Diaries or something?
Okay, well, she's there. And they decide to go back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I found that decision to be very questionable because, like, why?
Well, my first notes are, how are they supposed to go back to the school? The school set them up to be killed in that attack, so why wouldn't they be killed on sight to keep the secret?
Exactly.
That just doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. Which you do see that they
kind of snuck around and surprise.
They tried to assassinate like all of them, basically, the entire year. But yeah, she goes back and we see Dane's father. And now I'm like, I get why Dane is the way that he is, because he is fucking insufferable.
Speaking on Dane, I have a note here and it says, why is Dane as Wingleader so unsexy?
Yes, I agree.
I don't get it. Like,
I agree.
Like it went from like okay, Wingleader is like this. Damn, the Wingleader. I don't know how to explain it to like the hall monitor. Like, yeah, Jane is Wingleader.
Where's your hall pass?
Is not sexy at all. Like no. I don't understand why that title sounded sexy when Zayden was the Wingleader. But yeah, I just want. Like I don't know.
But you see that later, like, not to get ahead of ourselves, but you see that later when he calls, like, the formation, and they're, like, not taking Dane seriously. Yes. And then Zayden gets up, and he's like, yeah, you guys with us or not?
Yeah. But then again, well, we don't want to, I guess, we don't want to skip around, so, yeah. And one of the things, I think we're more closer into the beginning, is that Violet, I just loved when she was using her cheating, because I when she was cheating for herself, I was like, I mean, granted, like, yeah, it's smart, you do what you have to do, but at the same time, I was like, this is embarrassing, Violet. This is the only way we can win is to cheat. But now that she's cheating for Sloane, I was like, oh, like Liam would be so grateful.
Well, I did say we don't have Liam, but we do have his sister, and even though she fucking hates Violet.
I mean, I would too at first. You know. If I felt they got my brother killed, so I can't blame her.
I also have a note that I love Andarna even as a teenager.
My favorite. I literally, listening to the book, I was like, this is my favorite character. Mm-hmm. I don't care. This is my favorite character.
Yeah, I agree. She's great.
And Taryn giving her like the pep talk about Kat was hilarious to me, and I love the fact that he like tries to be like, yeah, well, he says no dragon chose her, but two dragons chose you. I was like, yes, Taryn, like, you need to give me a pat. Where are you when I need you?
Yeah.
But then Violet was like, yeah, but Xaden chose her. And I was like, oh. You're right about that, too.
Yeah.
That whole part, I was like, oh.
Speaking of Xaden, I said...
What are we not speaking of Xaden?
Right. This man will forever live in my mind rent-free. I think I will forever be, like, comparing every future character to this man. But, I literally wrote down, because now at the beginning, mind you, like, she's mad at Xaden for this whole fucking book for like 1,600 reasons.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of the book, when she's mad at him because she just won't, he won't tell her things, like, because she doesn't have shields for Dane, and like, you know, it's putting her at risk and all that stuff. My note is how perfect. I forgot how perfect Xaden was, because, like, you know, we'd read some other stuff in between. And how can we possibly stay mad at him when he's protecting his country? He's protecting all of the kids of the rebellion. Like, I get that you can't have a relationship without trust, but
I don't think Xaden's perfect. I think Xaden is unrealistic, because, like, if we look at real men aren't even, you know, he's fictional. But I don't think Xaden's perfect.
no, definitely not. I think that he's my perfect.
All right.
He's my favorite.
Okay.
But I think he definitely has his issues, and I think the fact that he's so secretive, which is why he has the Shadow's powers in the first place, is probably one of them. But I also feel like if I was in Violet's shoes, I'd be like, all right, I get it. I get why you're not.
No, for that, I mean, come on, Violet. Like, you can't keep your shields up for shit. Like, I can't tell you. But I mean, for other things, I think I don't know, because like I said, I'm trying not to skip around too much. But, like, I don't know, just the way, like, he handles certain things. I think the problem just is too is Violet is nervous to accept the fact that he loves her, so she just wants something. Like I said, she asks him questions about things that he could tell her, but he just chooses, to.
I think also her feelings of betrayal from not just Aiden, but like her brother, her mother,
Her mom, yeah.
Like, it's hard.
Her dad, obviously, her dad
Yeah.
knew, and then, and that's like the big thing is a lot of people didn't tell her things, so she's tired of it.
So she's standing on business.
She's tired of not being told stuff.
I did write a note about how that scene when she goes to Samara to visit Zayden, and he's fighting in, like, the sparring room or whatever, and I'm like, so they keep sparring outside of college? That hardly seems like the best way to keep an army.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, he was sparring for the weekend pass or the day pass or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the time that I wrote this note, I was just like, they're still sparring even past college.
Why wouldn't they spar? They're in, like, the army. Like, they have to.
I mean, I've never been in the army. Do people spar in the army?
I haven't been in the army, and I don't think that they necessarily spar, but, like, they work out. They're not fighting dragons.
Good point.
Hand-to-hand combat. Like, they don't have that. And, I mean, maybe they do. But here,
I just and they touch on this in the
realistically,
book.
I get what you're saying. These people are too old to be doing any of this.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the whole book. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
And they talk about this in the book, that when they get to the flyers later, about how the war college for the dragons is just so ass backwards. Like, they kill people for sport when there's a fucking war happening.
I think that at some point we'll get more into this, because something's just fishy about that. Like, that just, somebody is in charge who wants these people dead, because that just don't make no sense to be killing off,
Yeah, and going back to the beginning, we are inevitably going to skip around. I think it's just par for the course. But when Varish comes in and his dragon just scorches like a fourth of the college, like, that's fucking crazy.
It is.
And I'd be like, all right, well, day one, you're out, sir. You just killed half the school. Well, not half the school, but
that was a little crazy, that scene. But also, since I don't have permission to skip around, which I shouldn't skip this far, but it has to do with like the dragons going crazy. At the point of like, what point in the book was this? This was towards the end with Jack and Bade.
yes.
And
Which, surprise, Jack's alive.
Yeah. First of all, what the hell?
Why did they spend so much time bringing this man back to life?
And I thought we would find that out, and we didn't. And I thought maybe they brought him back for like some. Did they already know he was changed? I don't know. But what got to me was how some dragons choose riders who just don't give an F about them. And I find that crazy. Like, there's so much, emphasis placed on like how the dragon chooses the rider and blah blah blah. So you chose Jack Barlow for what? The fact that this man killed his dragon. And there was what is the other guy who's just out there disrespecting his dragon as well?
Varish.
Okay. What made these dragons choose them is what I want to know. Is it just because they themselves are terrible dragons or whatever?
Maybe it's some low self-esteem dragons.
Well, and it sounds like stupid, but I was thinking that because I'm like, when the fact that you chose this man and then this man killed you, relatable. I felt, honestly,
you felt valid.
No, I didn't. I felt bad.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, like, you're really freaking stupid, but
you can't even trust the people you're sharing a mind with.
I can't even judge you for this because so freaking relatable. But I truly felt bad for Bade. I was like, look at the decision that you made and where it got you. Like, I don't know. That bothered me though.
Well, it's the same thing with Varish when he says some of us command our dragons or something along those lines.
Yeah. That's it's what made me. Yeah, that's what I was saying, is that what made these dragons choose them?
I don't know. I do like.
And then Sawyer didn't even get one the first time.
I know.
Like, I need inside these dragons' heads. I need to see their logic.
Which I think the whole squad deserves a moment here, but we'll get to that eventually with Sawyer. And
wait, can I interrupt you before you start that thought? Because this is my last thought I really have about Jack. I can't believe they brought him back and didn't bring Liam back. So we had a chance to bring somebody back, and that's who we chose.
Well, I don't understand how he's not dead after a mountain comes down on him.
Well, that's what if we had a miracle, could we not have brought Liam back?
Well, that's what makes me think that there's something fishier happening in that leadership. Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah.
And also, why did Jack save Violet?
You know what? I didn't think about it, but when you just said it to me, in my mind it popped up that the Venom, their king or whatever.
Oh, they do
he
want
wants
her.
So now, and I didn't connect two and two until you just said, why does he want her
Well,
alive?
we also didn't know that he was Venom at the
That's
time.
true. We didn't know that, and we also didn't know that the king wants Violet alive.
Yeah.
But so that's why he saved her, I guess, and made it look like, oh, I'm doing this for you, but really,
But to get favor with the Venom.
yeah.
Crazy. But yeah, I agree. It's something fishy in the leadership at Biscayeth or Bisgeth or however the fuck you say this place. That their decisions are like, we must save this man and kill half the fucking army.
Yeah.
But whatever. So I do also love that we get more of Imogen at the beginning, but it's also sad to see her distancing herself from like
Mm-hmm.
her friends,
Yeah.
her real friends.
Yeah.
Because even Imogen is like, I'm not going to talk to you about your sex life. You have real friends for that.
But I also just think that that's her. I
Yeah.
don't think she is not really one of their real friends. I think she just doesn't want to hear about Xaden or Violet like that. And I don't either, because every time I was like, enough. I'm so tired of hearing about these two. I even have like a thing like their PDA is kind of too much. Like, all right, you're about to go into the battle and you don't know if you'll see each other again. All right, I'll give you a pass for that. But in the middle of a crowded hall, like, do we like you're making out like that in the middle of a party? You're adults. You're not teenagers. It was too much. and I would be Imogen in that situation. I'd be like, please go talk to Rhiannon or something. I don't know what to tell you, but don't talk to me about it.
Mira actually makes a comment to Brennan about it. When they kiss and Brennan's just like, "You're really gonna do this in front of me?" And she was like, "Please, that's tame for them."
And I was like, oh my, like for real, I'm with Brennan. Like, stop it, please. It's weird.
Get it together.
You didn't find it like cringy?
No, I agree. It does scream like teenager.
Like, yeah, I'm like, you guys are not teenagers. You are grown people
who have had relationships before this.
So what are you doing? Why are we doing that? Like I said, before battle, all right, whatever. Do what you got to do, because you might never see each other again.
But and even then, it's like,
no, before battle, if I might never see this person again.
But if you think about it, like I'm thinking about Harry Potter, right? When doesn't Ginny kiss like Harry in the middle of like?
No, when they kiss like that, they're in the like room of requirement, I think. Or are you talking about? No, you're talking about
when shit's going down at Hogwarts and
something about.
And it's just like a quick
Wait,
kiss.
Is that the one where they were like,
or was it Ron and Hermione? No, because they're together the whole time.
No,
they kiss in the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
Which also, that's a good kiss as well.
There was something like I feel like they do kiss in front of people, because is that the time that somebody says, "Oh well, no," that's when. No, I don't remember when they kiss. I don't remember.
But it's really quick, and it's just like a little like, oh shit kind of moment.
Yes, but also, I never really thought Harry and Ginny should have been together.
No, me either. I thought Harry and Hermione had more chemistry.
Me too, but Harry needed to be a Weasley.
Yes, I agree with that.
So that's why that happened.
I agree with that. Anyway, not a Harry Potter podcast. Spoiler alerts for something that's like 20 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways.
Oh, okay. Do you have something you
want? No, go ahead.
Andarna's wing.
Oh, yeah.
That freaking kill. I was like, no, I felt so, but at least she's flying now, and I think at some point in the book she'll be able to fly Violet. Violet is super light. We hear about how light she is all the time.
Yeah.
I think at some point she will.
I will say, so this book did make me cry, and it was actually Andarna that when she says like that she wants to just be just like Taryn.
That was so cute.
I was like, my heart.
And that's why she has, and he doesn't even know that, and she's like, I have black scales because I want to be like him, and I'm like, oh my god, that's your dad.
Because she looks up to him. I was like, oh.
Like, and I just think it's so adorable that like Taryn basically just adopted this, because there's many other dragons, even Segale. Segale, like he's like, oh, Taryn tried to put it like it was Segale who has her around. And Darna is not around because of her. Like, let's
I know,
get real.
because he would have bonded to the rider that Segale was with.
Exactly.
No.
Or took on her scales, or that is your daughter right there. Right there. Like, I just think that that's adorable.
That was the only thing that made me cry at the end. Like, not
well,
even
I was like tearing up when I heard about her wing, and that I was like, oh. But, and like, I don't know, maybe she will never be able to fly, Violet, and that's why, another reason why she, Violet has 2 dragons. But I have a feeling at some point something will happen. Violet will be falling out of the sky or something. And she'll swoop in.
Yeah. So I did say that I thought the way Rihanna
Bree
handles things with Violet when addressing her, about her being like so stepped back and everything. I thought that was very
mature.
Yeah, like she's a good squad leader. I'll give her that.
I'll give her, she's a good squad, and she's a good friend, because she wasn't mad at Violet, but she was like, listen.
That moment where they find out the truth, where the squad finds out the truth and why she's been like that. And Violet has like a, wow, I was pissed at Xaden, but they're not mad at me moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I found it to be very like, cathartic is not a good word. Like, you've been mad at this man this whole fucking time.
You're just mad she's mad.
I'm mad because she's mad at like, this book was full of like 600 reasons to hate Xaden. Like, every time they resolved one, here's another one. Like, she's mad that he's being secretive. Okay, he leaves her letters. He opens up to her, starts showing her things, brings her on these little like secret side quests, and then you find out, oh, well, your mom actually told me to look out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
see, the funny thing is when that happened, I was like, oh damn, Violet's gonna be pissed. Like, I didn't care.
I was pissed actually about that.
You were? See, I didn't care. It didn't bother me, because I was like, okay, well, good, because I mean, Violet's gonna be but he needed some. It was almost better for me that he had some reason to keep, rather than just, oh, I loved you.
Yeah, it made more sense.
I was okay. And he said, and I like when he says that. He's like, you know how like it felt when I wanted to kill you, and I had to, keep you alive instead. Blah 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 blah. And I just liked that better, because it made it more realistic as to why he did what he did. And like I said, I knew Violet was gonna be pissed,
but she's actually not. She's not pissed in that moment. It's not until like chapters later. It's like they're in the middle of another fight and she brings it the fuck up. Like, they don't even talk about it.
Pissed. Because she was pissed.
Their communication is fucking awful for 2 people that live in each other's
I mean,
heads.
also they would get like to see each other every like week if things were good, and then battles are happening, and then like, I mean, everything was going on. So I'll give them that.
And then also on the topic of her mom, Xaden, protection, whatever, the new scar above his heart for Violet, for Adriata, actually, so that they would trust her. Oh, I love that man.
I wasn't really like, oh, because I at this point I was like,
I kind of
knew that. No, I just knew it was coming. And then once he dramatically ripped open his shirt, I was like, oh, there it is. I think I just wasn't in like a very like fantasy mood maybe. So I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't exactly feeling this book. Like it was okay, but really the enjoyable parts to me were Taryn and the dragons. Basically, it was the dragons for me this time. The love
Yeah.
story kind of was predictable.
Just
Nothing,
miscommunication after miscommunication after
you know what?
miscommunication.
And that's one of like my least favorite tropes. So that's also maybe why I was just like, oh,
Yeah. I know. It was a little exhausting. And then you throw in the cat thing. And I'm just like, God.
yeah. And the fact that like I don't know. I mean, I guess he didn't have to tell her because she went there without telling him she was going there. But I'm like, damn, you couldn't have warned a girl. Like,
I agree. And then the whole like, well, you got to teach the flyers too.
yeah,
And another thing, also, when half the school leaves Bezgath to go to Adriata or however you fucking say it, and they're all living in Zayden's house,
mm-hmm.
and sure, they're the best squad, and Cat's flyers are the best flyers.
Yeah,
But Zayden's still in charge. It's his fucking house. Why do they have to be in the same squad? They fucking don't.
yeah, yeah. They gotta. Don't ask me why they gotta, but they gotta.
Also, going back, another thing I wanted to say when she goes to Samara and she sees Mira is now there.
Mm-hmm.
And she's talking to Mira, and Mira doesn't know that Brennan's still alive.
Yes.
Would you be able to hide that?
Personally, I don't think I would.
Yeah, I would not be able to either.
I like. What do you mean? Would I be able to? Like, would they be able to tell, or do you mean would I? Would I? Like,
Would you?
no, no, mm-mm.
Yeah, no, me either.
Not from somebody like she trusts her. It's not just like she didn't tell the mom,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't have been able to hide it from her.
I think that it's actually crazy that she does.
Yeah, and I'm surprised she's not more pissed about it.
Yeah, me too.
Because that I would have been pissed about.
Like if
If my sister
your
knew my
other
brother
sibling knew.
was alive and didn't tell me. Because I would have at least questioned when did you find out? I don't think she does.
No, she doesn't at all.
Yeah, I think that's just an oversight because that didn't really match her character
Yeah.
to not be like when did you find out? Because she's could have known forever.
And those are sisters, and sisters are fucking brutal to each other, so.
Where's her punch in the face? She needs one too.
Yeah, right? She would have gotten a 1-2. Um. I didn't find that, like, when Dane challenges her, and Dane says, like, on the mat, like, oh, do you know how he got all those scars? It was your mother. I didn't find that to be, like, shocking.
No.
Like, I was just like, who do you think did it?
Yeah, I think
Like,
but
I assumed that she did it.
me too. Yeah, I don't really know why Violet. Maybe because it's her mom, so she couldn't have pictured her mom doing something like that. I don't know.
Also, another thing, her signet is to control the weather.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that on
Parapet.
Yeah, it was fucking raining. Are you serious?
I don't know. Yeah, I thought about
Like this woman hates her.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to say that
Like at the very least, have this woman say to her, like, "Oh, I was really sad that you were going into the Riders Lodge. I was very worried for you, so I just couldn't control it." But at that point, if you're the general, I feel like you should be in control of your signet.
I don't know. Either she had so much faith in Violet that she wanted to add an extra flair, or she was like, let me do my poor daughter a favor and kill her before it gets really, really rough. Which, no, that's not the case because, and that's the thing is she wouldn't have told Xaden to look out for Violet or not kill Violet if she planned on getting rid of her. So what that was, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
And then another thing, while we're talking about this, I just think her reasonings for being like, I know you, and if you would have made it to the highest ranks in the scribes, and then you would have rebelled and they would have killed you. You don't think the same thing's gonna happen in the Riders Quadrant?
Well, she did say she wanted her to be like prepared, like learn how to fight, I guess, back, right? Because she wouldn't have been able to.
That's true. They would have just killed her.
Yeah, she would have just. She's stronger now, I guess. I mean, she's still got elbows pop. No, not elbows. How many times has her shoulder popped out of the socket now?
Too many. And knees.
And her knees. Her knees are always weak. They're always weak. They're always talking about the damn knees.
And how do you feel about, I don't know how to say his name, Eric, the prince?
Oh, Arik. I was hoping that Violet would get some action with the prince. No, I'm kidding.
Well, there is a third book.
No, I don't really have too much of an opinion on him. I like him. I'm happy that he,
I think he's a nice addition of a new character.
He is. I feel like we haven't learned too much about him though.
Yeah.
He's a little sassy.
What about that part when they're trying to steal the journals? And he's like, I'm not gonna help Xaden. And then Xaden just like punches him, and he's like, I killed your brother, and I'd do it again.
Yeah. That's why I need Violet to have somebody to make Xaden a little jealous because she had Kat. So, and Dane doesn't count because she was over Dane.
Oh, on the topic of Dane now, do we feel like Dane is redeemed?
Yeah, in this book? I mean, redeemed. I mean, I don't know. I don't hate him anymore.
I might be a Dane sympathizer.
Yeah, just a little bit. I don't hate him anymore.
I don't hate him. I don't feel like my candle is warranted. It doesn't feel like
he was warranted because I would if he was real, I would show it to him. It's you still did what you did.
You
still got Liam killed, whether by accident or on purpose.
He was a little insufferable at the beginning of the book, though, too.
So he was
still up to his old.
That candle still
holds up
until you bring Liam back.
Still holds up. We did get a little bit of Liam though in this book.
Oh yeah, that was so sad. I liked that. Like out of everybody, she could have seen, she saw Liam.
Yeah, she didn't see her dad.
And it's just a figment of her imagination, so it literally could have just been anybody.
But she saw Liam. Liam got her through the torture.
I was like, oh no! I thought Sawyer was gonna be, and it was so funny
too
because right before, so I think because like I've been doing a lot of audiobooks, Riddick and Bodhi, Liam and Sawyer, I would keep mixing up for some reason. I don't know why, but I would. The only reason I know Bodhi is because Bodhi looks like Xaden, but Riddick is not one of the marked ones, right?
No.
Okay.
But Riddick is also black because at the beginning of the book he gets a tattoo on his neck and he says against his brown skin. And I was like, how did I miss that in the first book?
I just keep mixing them up. So right before that scene happened with Sawyer's leg, I think they were like trying to like imply that Mira was gonna die, or what's her name? Mira?
I was waiting for somebody to die.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought it was gonna be Riddick. I thought it was
gonna be Sawyer. And I was like, it'll probably be freaking Sawyer because I keep mixing him up with Liam. And then all of a sudden that happened. I was like, oh, no, 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 no. You leave Sawyer alone.
I'm glad he survived though, but
Yeah.
R.I.P. to his leg.
Well, can they grow back or no?
I don't think so. But maybe.
There's magic. Like, I don't like, that's what I don't. Oh, yeah, no, because Terrence said they can't mend what's not there.
Yeah, they'd have to go get his leg.
Yeah. Go get the damn leg then. This poor boy. Come on, you guys are going to have him riding on dragons and everything else, and he's missing half of his leg? This is rough.
Oh, I do like that we got a lot more of, like, signets in this book, too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I wrote them all down here in my notes, actually. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Bodhi does have, like, a classified one, though, right? I don't remember what it is. I know Imogen can erase, like,
memories or something like that.
Oh, Bodhi can counter signets. Riddick can make ice. Sloane can drain power. Professor Carr can use fire, which I think is a lame power for somebody who's trained in all the signets. Varish can see someone's weaknesses. Quinn can wield air. Sawyer can fix metal. And I don't remember what Garrett can do. But yeah, I did find that to be that I do like magic in my fantasy. So I like that we got a lot more of that. I also, on the topic of Sawyer, I do like Sawyer and Jacinia.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I don't.
You don't like it?
I don't because
Liam.
Because Liam was trying to get there before you. So no, no, no.
But I do think that they're like.
Why are they so interchangeable? Like they're
I
not. But why? Why? That's probably part of the reason why I keep mixing them up.
I know. I know.
I mean, granted, they're not because Liam was, you know, I like Liam. Like I love Sawyer. Sawyer's cute, but Sawyer's not. We definitely got to know a lot more about Liam, but it feels like he's almost like the report. Like we couldn't even find somebody else to like. Like we're just gonna take who Liam liked. And honestly, even with Jacinia, when she was like Sawyer's in the hospital, she's like, "Oh my god, where?" And I was like, "Girl, like I thought you liked Liam."
Well, I guess they didn't have enough time to like build it. I do like Jacinia though.
I do. Although that one little part, believe it or not, I was kind of like, like.
Oh, going back to the signets though, how miscommunication number 1232. How do we feel Zayden's second signet? He's also in an intrinsic.
Honestly, I was not surprised about that either. I was surprised that it wasn't as good as what I thought. I thought he was just out here reading minds.
I thought so too. I thought he was like Edward Cullen. Like
me too. And I thought we all knew this. So that's why I was like, why are we acting surprised, Violet?
But she's more pissed about that than the fact that her mom told her to go and like whatever. But like honestly, if you had a man that could read your mind and was doing everything that he could to
No, I wouldn't like that.
You wouldn't like it?
No, I don't want anybody to read my mind. My mind is mine.
But he's reading your mind and
I totally get not why she would be pissed at him. That is not something he can help. And she should know that because of how upset she was when she got her lightning wielding. She should understand that's not something you can control.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want anybody to read my mind. And if men could read minds, I definitely wouldn't. I'd be like how she was.
Yeah.
Like, did you do this because you were reading my mind? Did you like? I wouldn't like it.
Okay. Oh, I did have a note about Taryn's pep talk to her about the ex too.
I love it.
Amaretto? Amaretto? however you say that man's name, the sparring teacher. When he like is like, if I were to have a favorite student, and said other favorites.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Amaretta.
Yeah.
Would you be mad if you were Zayden and you found out that Violet told her friends?
Yeah. Hell yeah. And then that's when I would be like, and this is why I don't tell. Yeah. This is why I don't tell you anything. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'd be mad. Like, at the very least, tell me first that you're going to tell. At the very least.
Yeah. She didn't really get a choice, though, when she did tell them, because
I don't know. I mean, she didn't, but she did. You're trying to show this man you could be trusted.
Yeah. Plus, going off and finding classified books in the archives. Like, I get it, because also, like, I think it's kind of dumb for them to be like, the scribes are the enemy. Like, nothing in there is useful for us, when like knowledge is literally power. Like, I don't know why you all are so dumb. But
well, they're not. They're pretending
yeah.
that, What show is that from? Where the person's like, knowledge is power, and they're like, power is power. Is that Game of Thrones?
I think it is.
That was
Cersei, Game of
Cersei,
Thrones.
right?
Yeah.
And she's like, power is power.
That one analogy in Game of Thrones from Varys, where he's like, where does power truly reside? And he's like, in the swordsman or whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where he's like, you have a king, a priest, and a sellsword.
Wait, where is this from?
Game of Thrones.
I don't remember this. Who said it?
Varys.
No, I don't remember. I haven't watched actual Game of Thrones since it was out.
Well, not a Game of Thrones podcast, but also I do have a note about Harry Potter here.
Oh my god!
And this is also not a Harry Potter podcast, but does this book not feel like Harry Potter 5 vibes? Like when Lord Voldemort is back, but nobody believes him.
No, I just keep getting like Divergent, like not so much Harry Potter. It gives me, Dauntless.
Yeah,
that's all I picture is Dauntless.
I think I was getting that vibe because he's like isolated because nobody believes him, and Violet's like isolated at the beginning, and then for some reason they all flip after that meeting, and he's got his friends back. Like Violet.
I got my friends back.
Also, speaking of the squad, Riddick.
I say Riddick, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think I gained like a huge appreciation for him in this book. Not that I didn't appreciate him before, but like I feel like my note here is like, he's so funny. Do I actually know something that you all don't?
Yeah. No, I felt like a lot of people I gained more of an appreciation for this book.
Yeah.
Than the other. I think because the other book was more like Violet and Zayden, getting to know them, and then now this one we kind of got to know more of everybody else. Except Rhea. I mean, in the beginning we did, but then towards the end I don't think there was too much that involved her.
I didn't appreciate the like fleshing out of like more of the characters. I'm kind of hoping for more of that, because I feel like seeing more Bodhi, seeing more Garrett.
I want more dragons. I love the dragons.
Oh, I do feel like we're gearing up for more of like a dragon coup, if you will, or like a dragon.
Well, they need to
battle.
They need to figure out their stuff, because they're always talking about, the dragons, they have their own rules and their own, but something needs to change because some of your dragons are not making good choices.
They're suspicious.
And they've been alive for hundreds and hundreds of years. They should be smarter.
Mm-hmm.
She should not have gotten tricked by a 20-something-year-old man. I'm out here getting tricked by 20-something-year-old men, but I've only been on this earth for 20-something years.
Though I do think Riddick's dragon is only like 22 years old.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, okay. Then they have an excuse.
And I think that's why, like, it's alluded to that that's why he picked him, because they both have like that
young energy,
young, carefree, funny energy about them. But I am hoping for more dragon drama, if you will. I do have another note going back to Arik. I do find it a little crazy that he's able to be so nice to Violet when Xaden killed his brother.
No, what does Violet got to do with that? Violet's mom killed Xaden's dad.
That's true. That's fair. But, you know, I feel like a lot of people would hate her by proximity.
Yeah. But I'm not getting I never got that vibe from Arik. I got that he was pretty smart. I mean, Xaden was the one who actually did it, so that's why he hated him.
Oh, I do have a note here that says, also they in Flame section, and is that why the book is called Iron Flame? Because they're Iron Squad and Flame section.
I think that's why.
Yeah. I know. And apparently it took me most of the book to figure that out. Oh, Nolan betraying her is honestly so sad to me.
I wasn't sad about it, but I was just like, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, oh, okay.
Not shocked. Not mad. Just disappointed.
Just disappointed.
Oh, when Xaden saves her from the torture thing, and her mom's just like, "How many did you kill?" Everyone.
Everyone.
And that conversation with her mother, about about her like calling upon Xaden for a favor later on for having all the kids in the Rider Squadron.
Mm-hmm. I don't have that many notes. That was basically all my notes. I wasn't There was a lot that happened in this book. I will give it that. But I wasn't hooked on it. If at some point I would have put it down, I probably would have forgotten.
It was a little exhausting. Like there was a lot going on, but it wasn't like in the sense of like, oh, I got to keep reading. Like, let me fly through this. It was more like, oh, I'm exhausted. Now here's another fucking thing that's going on. Like, did we really have to tell the whole school the truth in that moment? Like, that seemed so fucking unhinged.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of.
Like, this is our only chance. We gotta tell them the truth now. Did you? Did you really? Because that seems very, like, not the smartest. Oh, also, do we have any thoughts on what her second signet could be? Because I have a note here that's like, where she says, usually I'd be warming up by now, not losing feeling in my toes. And I was like, maybe she has ice powers, but that doesn't make sense because Riddick has ice powers. I doubt she'd give two characters the same powers.
I don't. To be honest, I don't. Like I said, I always knew Zayden's. I thought we all did. I didn't think that, but I don't really have like. It's somewhere in there.
It is, and I keep
because the
looking.
lightning was in there. There was always hints about the lightning. So
and there's also another moment where they're talking about like she feels like a tornado or something, and I'm like, but she can't have weather powers. Her mother has that, and she can't have wind powers. That's Quinn's thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what is it? Just tell me.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it doesn't necessarily have to do. I don't think whatever she would have. I feel like it would be kind of boring if it was something with weather or like. I feel like. But then
Maybe it's
again,
something mental
I was
because
gonna
she's
say
so
mental,
like,
but yeah, like
and this is
she was supposed to
Andarna.
be a scribe, so like. Oh, and when Andarna was like, "I heard about you," and
Oh
that's
my
why,
god, yes. And she was
and
like,
that's why
I
I woke
knew.
up.
I knew that you were mine.
And I was like, "Oh my god, I love this dragon, my Shayla." I can't.
Also the whole like we gotta climb up this mountain for 12 hours was just crazy to me. Like, why? I mean, I get it, like they want you to
Yeah,
like,
because
but it
that's what I
seems just
mean.
so
Well,
asinine.
so that's what I mean about there's so many things, and that's the problem with fantasy is like sometimes the struggle doesn't need to be there, but you want a struggle, so you do, and you're just like, but why are we doing this?
Why are we climbing up this
Why
mountain
are
for
we
12 hours?
climbing up the side of the mountain when we have direct? Like, okay, yeah, the altitude of I don't believe it. I don't believe that for one
And
second.
that whole scene where Riddick gets like stabbed because they're no, correct me if I'm wrong, because you listened to the audiobook. I read it. So did I read this wrong? They really used a sword to get across this gap when there's like a dozen people there with powers.
Listen,
And then Violet's trying to hold on to two fucking people. The girl that splits in two at any moment.
I can't. Okay, Harry Potter, the boy who lived and the girl who splits in two at any moment. Oh my god.
Like, you're really telling me like that's the plan?
That's the plan.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
And then also, another thing that I found to be so fucking unhinged is when they're looking for runes and they go into a fucking cave. And oh, here's Varys's dragon here to get his revenge. Why now? Why at this moment? And also, why are we out looking for runes? Why are we on a scavenger hunt?
Well, the runes were. Oh no, because this was before. This was Dane's idea.
Why are we scavenger hunting?
Did you at any point feel like there's too many characters? I think that's a lot of fantasy. Like that, honestly, no, maybe I'm just getting old because that sounds like my mom. My mom would always be like, "I can't watch Harry Potter. There's too many characters," and I never felt that way, but I feel that way in this book. I'm like, there's too many characters, so all of a sudden they just disappear. And you're like, where is this person? But then all of a sudden they pop up on the back of their dragon in the middle. You know, like, did you feel like that? Or like, I even Andarna, and like, I get that she was sleeping and she was, but the whole time I'm like, where the hell is your second? You don't have a second dragon, like, because Andarna's not with you anymore. She left.
Yeah, and then like Dane is basically just null and void for like a fourth of the book.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then she's like, I need Dane to translate this. And oh, here he is.
I'm back. But yeah, I feel like there's just too many characters. Like, because there's not enough time to. That's why I'm like, I'm a fan of like smaller circles, you know, where it's not, I mean, you can only fit so many people on the page. So, not.
Yeah. Um and then of course Is now the time to talk about the last two things that we haven't talked about?
I know one for sure. I don't know what the other one is, but I'm pretty proud that we made it all the way to the end to talk about what happened at the end.
Hold on, let me read my notes, make sure we're really there. Because there was like we said, there was a lot that happened in this book. It felt like very the guy that like wants to keep her as a prize, and the fucking box with the venom, and then like both the siblings are there. Like it's very it was a very crazy ride, this
Yeah.
book.
Oh
And
yeah.
I don't
Okay. So I
know.
know the two you're talking about. Okay. I think I do.
Oh, I did write a quote. We settle matters of emotion after matters of life, from Taryn. Because Taryn was pissed at Sigil for
Hmm.
hiding.
Yeah. Which was crazy to me.
Yeah.
But I liked it because I didn't like the fact that there was so much emphasis placed on a dragon and their rider, a dragon and their rider, but then it didn't see like I didn't see that connection. I did, but I didn't. And then the fact that Sigale kept that, like I've seen it with Taryn a little bit more, but I guess I don't see it with the other ones because I'm not inside their head. But that gave me,
Oh, also, she didn't want to raise the wards because of the flyers not being able to wield. Is that a fucking joke?
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I guess because then they just wouldn't feel safe. So it's not that she didn't want to, but she wanted them to agree to it. Listen, I'm with you. I'm with you.
That's just crazy.
It absolutely is.
Also, we did get she did ask her about his mom, and he said that she left and that there's nothing to tell, but I feel like it's gonna come back around.
Oh, it is, especially at that one point where he says, "Why does he always fail the women in his life?"
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't understand how Jack became venom either. Like, I don't know if I just missed it, if it was discussed. When did that happen?
well, Violet says it was. Well, no, she says she knows it must have been happening when they fought because he pushed power into her. But I don't know if they ever say when he actually. But maybe that's something we need to find out in order to help Zayden.
Mm.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, all right, well, cat's out the bag. We might as well talk
I
about it.
almost made it.
We might as well talk about it. Yeah, I that kind of broke my heart at the end. I'm not gonna lie. I was upsetty spaghetti. I almost didn't want to read the next one
Really?
because I don't want to read about him being venom. I don't.
I don't care. To be honest, they'll figure it out.
They'll figure it out.
And I think that's like a big thing for me right now is trying to. That's why I haven't been. I feel like everything's been very predictable.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not. I'm like, okay, they'll figure this out.
Hmm.
I I I would put money they'll figure it out.
What if they don't and she ends up with Dane?
I wouldn't be okay. I might not hate Dane anymore. I still wouldn't like. I feel like Dane should be with what's her name,
Jacinia?
Jacinia.
Yeah, that
I
would
feel
be
like that would be
good.
the perfect girl for him.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted of Violet. Like maybe a little danger. She's out in the cafeteria when she should be back in the study locked up. But it's about as much as Dane likes his girl to get involved in anything. Go back and lock yourself in the archives.
Yeah. I do wonder who Dane is gonna end up with.
The only one I would like to see him with would be Jacinia.
Plot twist, it's Sloan.
Mm-mm. No, she deserves someone.
I could see Sloan and Eric
Yeah,
They're both first years.
I could see that. Yeah. And then she would be a princess. And
Yeah.
Liam would love that his little sister gets to be a princess. So yeah, I could see that.
Also we didn't talk about my house, my chair, my woman.
Okay,
That scene.
Reese.
I did like that scene.
Yeah.
Um Oh, also I do have a note about how the flyers become flyers a lot nicer than like they just jump off the bridge and hope to land on a griffin, and then if they don't, they just fall in the river and pick something else.
I think that's how it's supposed to be. That's why I'm like, okay, we got to figure out what the corruption is. What's going on over here? Why are they killing? Why are they killing their cadets? Oh, and she's like, they're not cadets till they make it till they make it over.
And then um I did have another note. Maybe she's psychic because of her dreams about with her second
Oh, that's
signet.
true. Yeah.
Because she does have that dream about the venom, like, and then it kind of comes.
Yeah. But didn't? Oh no, no, never mind. That wasn't a dream. That was real.
So maybe she is kind of psychic. I don't
Yeah,
know.
something.
And then the last thing we didn't talk about is her mom giving her life
Yeah.
for the wards. Okay, how do we feel about her mom now?
Um, I feel like that Timothy, whatever his name is, Shamalama Ding Dong video where he's just like shrugging and smiling. Like that's how I feel. Like, because I don't know. She gave up her life for Violet's, as you should.
Yeah, but do we think like do we understand her more now? Like, do we think that she's valid in how she handled things?
Um, I wouldn't say she was valid in how she handled things. Um, I mean, to sit there and carve 100 and something scars into a young man's back,
Kind of crazy
after you killed his father,
to kill 100 and something
with
kids'
something that
parents.
you knew you knew it wasn't a lie, you knew he wasn't a rebel, you knew, so I don't know if I could, uh, but I guess she did it all to save her kid. So I don't hate her anymore. I don't like her. I don't think she was right. But when she was telling Violet, when you have a kid, you'll understand what you'll do to protect them, I think she was dead wrong in what she did. I don't necessarily think that protected them. I don't know. Maybe it did. Um, but I think she thought what she was doing. She believed what she was doing, at the very least. I don't know.
That's not nothing.
It's not nothing. Barely something, but it's not nothing.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I don't think that she was necessarily the big bad either. Like I definitely
No,
think
that's what
there's
I'm saying. Is like there was a reasoning behind it, and the reason wasn't I wanted to be all powerful and I'm better than dragons and whatever other bull crap these other people are coming up with. She thought she was protecting her children.
yeah, and I'll give her that. It's not nothing. Um, but mm, I do think that like a layer of protection for Violet is kind of gone now.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Because I think now they kind of got free reign to do whatever the fuck they want.
Mm.
But I guess we'll see. Because there's 3 more books. So what do we think overall? What do we rate it?
I would rate this one. It's somewhere between a 3.5 and a 4.
I give it a 4.5. I think because I still like the world.
I believe it or not, I still like the world. I still like Violet. I still like Zayden. It's just that this book to me, like I said, if I had read Iron Flame first, I wouldn't be hooked. Like I was like I'm invested. I got to see it through. But I wouldn't have been invested like that if I read Iron Flame before Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
Fourth Wing was definitely 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that. And maybe I'm being a little too generous, but I do feel like I did enjoy the book, even though it was so fucking unhinged.
I did enjoy it. I'm also just not in like mentally like a very lovey-dovey mood lately. So I think like just all like the PDA and I was like, oh, this is too much. Come on.
We're not watching a couple fall in love. We're watching them in the midst of
exactly. Like there was no me wanting them to get together. It was just here they are. Like, so maybe that's it. There was like, yeah, I don't know. But like I said, still good. I still liked it. I'm reading the next one, but I'm realistically 3.5 to a 4, like to a 4. Some probably maybe not 3.5, probably 3.9. I'll give it like a 3.9.
Okay, that's fair. I think it was definitely a step down from Fourth Wing, and I do see why some people stopped reading this series. But I'm not one of those people. I will continue to read the series. And I'm nervous. What do we do if she kills Zayden?
If she kills Zayden, it'd have to be like a Romeo and Juliet situation, I think.
Like Violet does too.
Yeah. I don't think she would just kill him. Like she might take them both out, like bolt of lightning or something. I don't know. Blow up the whole. I don't know. I think he'll be okay.
Guess we'll find out because there's
3 more books.
and they're not even out yet. We could be gone before we even know the ending. I mean, that guy that guy didn't even finish Game of Thrones yet. He'll probably die before Game of Thrones is finished.
Yeah, but wait. Yeah, but we're not going to be dead. We already own the other one, and you already started reading that one. We only got 2 more left. Isn't she working on the other 2 now, or did she say she was pausing, right?
Yeah.
See, that's another reason I just.
She said that she's going to write a contemporary book, and then she's going to take a break from writing because she owes it to her family. Which, fair and valid, but come on now. You're going to leave us hanging?
I personally like to read completed series.
Well, I thought it was just a trilogy.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But here we are.
We're in it now. Got to see it through.
So, I'm not sure what our next read is going to be. I don't know if we're going to read Iron Flame next or what.
No.
I mean, sorry, Onyx Storm. But yeah, we'll read something. We didn't introduce ourselves at the beginning of this podcast either.
Oh, we didn't. But also, you know what we should start doing?
What?
We should start maybe like leaving in there, like maybe our next read, and then people, if they've read it, they can ask a question if they haven't. So we have some guided questions too.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
If we give you guys like a heads up to what we're going to be reading next, and then if you have any questions, we'll definitely like answer them or something, because we're just all over the place.
Yeah, we have no organization.
None.
But that would require us to know what we're reading next before. Well, we definitely are going to read Onyx Storm eventually. So
we have plans right now to read Onyx Storm. We were going to do One Less Rainy Day, but my birthday's coming up, and I cannot go back into that depression that the Ravenhood put me in. So that'll be after my birthday. So that'll probably be like maybe end of April.
Yeah.
End of April.
So, if you got thoughts, feelings, opinions,
Or I mean
questions.
recommendations too.
Yeah.
Anything.
What should we read next?
Yeah. Let us know.
But yeah, this was fun. I feel like it wasn't as long as normally.
I feel like it was long.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
Probably because this book was a struggle.
This book was too long.
Yeah.
And there was some stuff I think should have been cut out. Like we didn't need Varish's dragon getting revenge. We didn't need that. We didn't need the dinner party where everybody's
But it
dressed
makes
up.
me. But I think the thing of that was just ridiculous. I was like, oh, here we are. But with the dragon, the way the dragons were acting made me question. That's why I said I need to see more.
Yeah.
Because why is this dragon burning half of the students?
I need a book from Taryn's perspective.
I really do. And Darna's.
Yeah.
Just go huffing around, pissed off at everybody.
Also, I do like that she's like a 7th dragon breed. And she's different. Because we didn't talk about that.
We didn't.
Actually.
We didn't.
We touched upon it.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Scales,
but yeah.
And I'm curious where those other dragons
I felt
went.
bad when Violet finally realized it, and she was like, "That's why you kept saying you don't fit in with them." Oh, and Darna.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see why they left and what's gonna happen with her family, her family, her kind.
What are they? Horde, right?
Dens. They're dens. Well, until next time.
See you next time. Thanks for listening.